The third episode of Game of Thrones Season 7 was packed with action, although not exactly the high-stakes battle scene kind, although there was some of that too. Here are all the things you might have missed in Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. The Queen's Justice wasted no time in jumping into the important stuff, kicking off with the long-awaited meeting between ice and fire. This is the first time Jon Snow has ever been south, and nothing emphasizes a Stark/Snow more out of his icy element than the absence of that perpetual blue-gray northern filter on his handsome face. This is the first time, other than in the trailers, where we've seen it before. Whether it was intentional or not, creators Benioff and Weiss managed to slip a tiny pop culture Easter egg into the dialogue this episode. Frankly, it was about time someone drew attention to the fact that two of the most popular shows on TV right now, Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead, both have swarms of the Walking Dead. It was Tyrion that called them by name.
And I'll figure out what to do about your Walking Dead men.
While last week we saw Jon Snow pulling a classic Ned Stark move on Littlefinger, this week we saw some far more subtle throwbacks to things we know about his father, Rhaegar. When Davos tells Daenerys that the Northerners and Wildlings support Jon Snow because they believe in him, one Reddit user points out how it echoes what Barristan Selmy tells Daenerys about her older brother back in Season 3, Episode 3.
Your brother Rhaegar led his army into Battle of the Trident. Men died for him because they believed in him, because they loved him.
And another Redditor found this poetic parallel between Sir Barristan's description of Rhaegar Targaryen's simultaneous talent and disdain for killing.
He told me Rhaegar was good at killing people.
Rhaegar never liked killing. He loved singing.
We all enjoy what we're good at.
I don't.
Now that Jon Snow is busy socializing with the Dragon Queen, Peter Baelish has as much alone time with Sansa as he wants. In our very first shot of her at Winterfell, he's leaning slimily on a railing right in the camera shot. After she makes the rounds in the yards of Winterfell, he decides to offer her some unsolicited advice.
Don't fight in the north or the south. Fight every battle, everywhere, always, in your mind. Everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend. Every possible series of events is happening all at once. Live that way, and nothing will surprise you. Everything that happens will be something that you've seen before.
Immediately after Baelish utters these words, Bran Stark, the new three-eyed raven, rocks up at the gates of Winterfell.
Hello, Sansa.
After his oddly zen greeting, he tells his sister about his newfound gifts.
And the three-eyed raven.
I don't know what that means.
It's difficult to explain.
Try, please, for me.
It means I can see everything. Everything that's ever happened to everyone.
Unlike the scheming Littlefinger, Bran can actually see everything, including the fact that Littlefinger is the one who betrayed Ned Stark back in Season 1. While Bran is pretty despondent and shell-shocked from all that he's been through, and seems to have no interest in the fact that he's Ned Stark's last surviving son, once he gets his gift more under control, he might see the truth about Littlefinger's involvement in Ned's betrayal and want to see him brought to justice. Every time a character insists strongly that something is a certain way and couldn't possibly be different, a big red flag should shoot up out of the TV screen. Like Tyrion and Missandei pointed out, Daenerys is way too important to go flying into battle, and it only takes one arrow to kill her. Or one really big arrow to kill a dragon. But the fact that Dany was insisting so strongly that she should ride her dragons out to burn Euron's fleet seems like a dragon-sized hint that she's going to do almost exactly that sometime in the future. Interestingly, Tyrion made a point of asking whether Daenerys had to be the one to ride with the dragons herself. While we haven't seen anyone else hop on Rhaegal or Viserion, fan theorists have long debated that possibility. There is one other Targaryen on Dragonstone now who just so happens to be a master warrior. Even Tyrion has hinted that he'd love a dragon of his own. Will we see another dragon rider before the season is out?
I am the last Targaryen, Jon Snow.
Oh, the irony. Daenerys tells Jon that she is the last of her line, when in reality she's talking to the son of her older brother. HBO released an official infographic at the end of Season 6 proclaiming the Bastard of Winterfell is the definitive son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. If only he knew as much as we did.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Jaime Lannister split his armies, allowing Team Tyrion and Dany a hollow victory at Casterly Rock, but securing the true prize for himself and Cersei at Highgarden. As he informs Lady Olenna that the end has arrived, he explains he employed a strategy we've seen before. It was the same tactic Robb Stark used on him at the Whispering Wood.
Did we get the Stark boy at least?
He wasn't here.
Where was he?
With his other 18,000 men.
Did you recognize the woeful tune that played while Jaime marched through the captured Highgarden? It was the Rains of Castamere, the song that gave the name to the episode containing the infamous Red Wedding. The Westerosi folk song tells the story of the destruction of House Rain, which had been a vassal of House Lannister right up until they decided to rebel against their liege lord Tydos Lannister. Tywin Lannister crushed the rebellion, decimating House Rain forever. Like House Rain before them, all the Tyrells are dead and gone now, courtesy of the Lannisters. But like the Starks before them, Team Targaryen has suffered a major loss but are hardly all gone. As Arya just enacted the Stark revenge for the Red Wedding at the beginning of the season, does the parallel between these situations mean that Daenerys will be dishing out her own fiery revenge sometime soon?